Close your eyes. Focus. Listen to work getting done with Monday.com. Relax as AI does the manual work, while your teams are aligned on a single source of truth. Feel the sensation of an AI work platform, so flexible and intuitive, it feels like it was built just for you. Notice you're limitless. Now open your eyes, go to Monday.com, start for free, and finally, breathe.
From Estero, Florida, this is the One Extraordinary Marriage Show, where being busy is overdone, romancing is fun, and scheduling sex has taken the guesswork out of wondering when you're going to get some. Creators of the 6 Pillars of Intimacy, I'm Tony DiLorenzo, your co-host, along with my beautiful wife, Elisa. From coast to coast and around the world, thank you for joining us. It's time to talk sex, love, and commitment. Give us a call or text us on the Hug Hotline at 858-876-5663. Or send us an email to hugs@oneextraordinarymarriage.com. In today's episode, we're talking about why novelty and intentional effort, even small ones like updating what's in your underwear drawer, strengthen your pillars of intimacy.
And this may be the first time that Stephen Covey has ever been associated with underwear. But he does have a quote that says, in relationships, the little things are the big things. And so as we're talking about that in today's episode, I just want to plant the seed that maybe your underwear, which seems like a little thing, could actually be a big thing in your marriage.
And I'm going to pop in real quick before we hit the hug.
Pop in.
This isn't just for the wives. I'm just saying it.
Go for it.
Just right now, I'm not saying this is just for the wives. Husbands, listen up.
Oh, wow. Putting down the hammer before I even get to the hug. Well, we do start every episode with a hug, and a hug is an opportunity for us to celebrate you, celebrate breakthrough, celebrate transformation. And this hug comes from a comment that was on a post for an upcoming 6 Pillars of Intimacy event. It said, Tony and Elisa recently did an event at our church last year, and it was incredible. Lots of breakthrough for marriages, and one couple that had been married almost 50 years shared with me that they had learned so much. Excuse me. And we're in tears. The first 6 Pillars event we attended impacted our marriage, and we have attended many since. And we still walk away having amazing conversations about keeping our marriage in a constant state of growth. Mm-hmm. So powerful. And if you've never attended one, you've never been to a 6 Pillars event, and you'd like to check out the upcoming events, go to oneextraordinarymarriage.com/events, and you can learn more, even about hosting an event as well.
Yeah. And I'm going to just say this real quickly. We got coming up back to back. We're going to be in Hillsboro, Ohio, and then we're going to be in
Ruston, Louisiana.
And then we're going on our marriage getaway cruise. That is sold out. Hopefully you'll make an event like that with us in the future. We have some other things coming up, looking at some new things for 2027. And then a big one coming up, we are partnering with Zimworks. Mm-hmm. They're a large company, and we will be headed to Zimbabwe and Zambia. So those folks in Zimbabwe and Zambia, we're going to be coming your way. There is, I think, a number of events coming up there that are going to be open to the public, and we're going to try to keep you abreast to that as best as we can. But that's what we got coming up here in the next, 6 months.
Between now and Easter.
Yeah, between now and Easter. So, and again, if you're a church leader, pastor, and you're looking to bring the 6 Pillars of Intimacy to your church, go on over to oneextraordinarymarriage.com/events.
Absolutely. And, as Tony said at the very top of this episode, we're talking about little things like updating your underwear drawer. And, it's funny because we can get into rhythms here, even behind the microphones, where it seems like we've got a few weeks in a row where the shows maybe just feel a little heavier, right? Like we're going more in depth, and we're talking about connection, we're talking about skill development, all of this different kinds of stuff. And every once in a while, we're like, you know what? We just need to lighten up the conversation. And I was actually, I'll tell you where the idea for this episode came from, because it was that, and then I started looking at Valentine's Day presents for Tony, and in our marriage, it's easy for me to think about underwear as a Valentine's Day gift for Tony, because one, it's super easy to find. I can often use an update.
I thought you were going to get me underwear.
Well, hold up.
Oh, okay.
Hold up. And I actually, and I've said this to a lot of my coaching clients, it's like great underwear that you feel really attractive, sexy, flirty, whatever adjective you want to use. It's kind of like
handsome.
Yes,
for
handsome.
us guys, handsome.
Well, you could want to feel sexy or flirty. Well, maybe not flirty. Do guys not want to feel sexy?
I think guys do. I think for myself, I rather feel like strong and handsome.
Okay.
Personally, but I mean, sure.
Well, no, you can.
I'd like to feel sexy for you, obviously.
Well, yes, only for me.
Yes, only for you.
And Tony and I share a big walk-in closet. My underwear drawer, like he knows exactly where it is. And there have been many times over the years when Tony will either kind of hint or be outright direct about what is coming out of the underwear drawer. When he's tired of seeing all of like the nude colors, just kind of like the skin tone, because we live in Florida now. I wear a lot of whites, light colors. Like I don't want my underwear to show through. He's not buying it, you guys. There are just times I wish you could see his face. He's like, I don't care. Like, wear something colored.
No, it's totally okay. And yet, there are times when I'm just like, all right, enough of that one. Like, let's
wear something different.
Let's put it to the bottom or to the back of the drawer so she can't find it.
And I know I'm talking about this from my perspective, but I think even for you, like you have like all of your black underwear.
Yes.
Yeah. So for Tony has like black upon black upon black underwear. And then he has, I don't know what, 4 or 6 pairs of like your colorful, fun underwear. So guys, I'm just going to challenge you right now, just at the top of this episode, like just visually imagine what's in your underwear drawer and think like, what does it look like if I were to pull it open right now? And this actually husbands or wives, if I were to pull out my underwear drawer right now, what would it look like? Because we asked the question last week on Instagram and said, hey, how would you describe what's in your underwear drawer? 56% of you said practical. 13% said a little boring. 17% said needs an upgrade, which only leaves 14% that said fun and flirty. Wow. Okay. Like I actually had to think. I have a lot of underwear.
You do.
Over the years. It does, and that's periodically why it needs an upgrade. But you can get into this place when you fall into that like practical, little boring, needs an upgrade, where what's in the underwear drawer actually can play out into what's going on in the marriage. Right? Where there's no intentionality behind it. We live in this place where maybe we're a little practical and we're a little boring. And that's just kind of how our interactions go. They're just kind of following what's in the underwear drawer because there's just like, it's comfortable. Everybody's got their comfortable undies. I'm not saying get rid of the comfortable undies. I'm not saying that at all. But when we stop trying new things or even making ourselves feel good or getting into this place of comfort or remembering the fact that novelty can be a fun way to bring anticipation into the marriage, like a new pair of underwear. I mean, this is not like a huge investment, but a new pair of underwear that you feel really good in, or is something that your spouse likes to see you in, can change a sexual encounter to be from like, okay, well, we've done this before, to, wow, I've never seen you in that. And that visual cue is a signal of intentionality. It's a signal of effort. It starts to change the dynamic.
I think a big thing, it's something so small and simple, and yet it can have big impact around our sexual intimacy, even our physical intimacy. And so I think it is fun to pepper in episodes like this because it also makes even Elisa and I think about it. Mm-hmm. Like, how are we getting complacent? Where are we just becoming more practical? Are we being just more practical, or are we being fun and flirty? You know what I mean? Does it need an upgrade? And it's funny that Elisa even asked that question, because I remember a couple of weeks ago, it was one of my colorful underwear. I was just sort of looking at it, and it was thinning out, man. I mean, it was one of those where it's just sort of like, why do I still have these, right? And so just like, okay, this can go in the trash. It's time for an upgrade, right? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? They just start getting old. And I don't know. I'm very simple, truthfully. When it comes to clothing, I can wear my clothes for a long time. My kids like give me a hard time about wearing the same things. I have no problem with it. I'm okay wearing a pair of shorts and a black t-shirt.
Which is like the uniform thing is totally fine.
Yeah, but what I'm just saying is sometimes when it just comes to something as simple as our underwear, and we all have a lot of things going on in our lives, and I get it. And for myself, what I'm trying to say is sometimes I can just get into that complacent, just practical, just do it. And I have to remind myself that for Elisa too, there has to be some visual appeal to be like, wow, you look good in those underwear coming to bed. Then, man, those underwear have holes in them and they look old and ratty.
Yeah. Holy underwear.
We did a whole episode.
We did a whole episode on it. I'm just gonna touch base on this here, even though that's not the crux of this episode. If your underwear has holes in it that are not supposed to be there, it's time to get rid of that underwear. It's just my little public service announcement here. Like just bringing that up. Because it also highlights, and even just thinking about what you were saying about the clothes, the other question I asked last week on Instagram stories was, well, how long has it been since you bought underwear that makes you feel, and again, I'm using different adjectives because not everybody likes the idea of feeling sexy or feeling flirty or feeling attractive, or as Tony said, feeling handsome and strong. Like, pick your adjective. But when was the last time that you bought something like that to go, yeah, I got a little pep in my step when I'm wearing this? And I will say that there were a couple that came through that were recent that said yesterday, December, and we're recording this episode in February, so that was probably a Christmas present. And then somebody actually said 2 nights ago for the 6 Pillars getaway. So I'm super excited for whichever couple that is. But a lot more of the answers sounded like this. When we got married 4 years ago.
Upgrade.
Christmas.
Okay, Christmas is good though.
They didn't specify which Christmas, so I'm hoping it's December,
of
like
this
that just
one.
happened.
Yeah, sure.
Last winter. Never.
Okay, yeah, time.
2 years ago, after your last podcast about underwear.
Oh, right on.
A year ago. 6 months ago.
That's good. I mean, 6 months, I could.
Yeah, I mean, some said it's all granny panties. And then someone else said, and this is one I actually just want to open up to, bought flirty ones but didn't wear them because they're uncomfortable, and hubby says he doesn't care. So there's 2 parts in that. One, ladies and gentlemen, if you buy underwear that's not comfortable, you're not going to wear them. So don't buy fabrics, materials, just because some store or online whatever says this is what's sexy. If you're not going to wear it because you don't like the fabric, don't waste your money.
Yeah. There's so many different styles, fabrics that you can buy nowadays.
Absolutely.
That whatever fits for you, that's what's key, which is very interesting because, and again, Elise and I have been married 29 years, and we've gone through many different underwears in 29 years when I think about it now. Wow, just thinking about that, that's like a lot.
That's kind of a fun little memory
That's
journey.
like a little thing
wow.
here. But
do you remember the silk boxers back in the day?
I do remember the silk
wow.
And those got holy too. Wore those things out. My goodness. Yeah, they're like blue. They're the blue ones.
Like
if I
blue
remember.
paisley.
Yeah, a blue paisley.
I think that was the first time I ever bought you underwear.
Wow. But I remember just even recently, Elisa would wear these nice lace underwear, and I love them. I think they look good on her. They're colorful. It's great. And I remember, and I don't know how long ago it was, but I said, hey, what's happened with your lace ones? And it's a lot about what's been going on with you with the perimenopause and the feel, the texture. You're like, they're just not comfortable on me. And to me, I'm like, what do you mean they're not comfortable? They're underwear. Put them on. Unless they're tight. And I understand with weight gain, weight loss, all that sort of stuff. You know, I've had that happen over the years, even for myself. But it was just one of those things where she was just like, they're not comfortable. And so there was just a period of time where she hasn't worn them. And more recently, I've noticed that you put them back on. So you must not feel that way any longer, or they're not uncomfortable. But please buy ones that are comfortable. I mean, part of it is having the comfort of wearing them and being like, these feel good on me.
Right.
And I can understand though too, as a guy, over the years, I've had weight fluctuation. I am typically a thinner guy, but I have had weight fluctuations where I have bought underwears that are more form-fitting that really just dive in and they
don't feel good.
They don't feel good, around my waist, around my butt, anything. It's too tight and I can't wear them. So I can understand 100% that If something doesn't feel good, why would you wear it?
Mm-hmm. And, I know that some of you have probably been rolling your eyes through this conversation going, are they spending this much time talking about underwear? And I'm going to say, yes, we are. Because it's about the effort and the signaling that you make to your spouse, that your marriage, this relationship, actually takes deposits of small investments, right? Like of doing something that's novel, of picking up a pair of underwear, of, finding a color that your spouse likes. That was another episode that we did all those years ago, the color of your underwear, that it actually demonstrates that your spouse is seen. And, getting into this place of saying, well, what does this look like for us? How do we do this as a couple? And we're going to talk about that after this break.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Fiscally responsible, financial geniuses, monetary magicians. These are things people say about drivers who switch their car insurance to Progressive and save hundreds. Visit Progressive.com to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states or situations.
As Tony and I are celebrating our 30th anniversary later this year, we've been reflecting on how far we've come and also the what ifs. For us, life insurance has always been about one question. How do we protect our family if something unexpected happens? And let's be honest, it's a scary topic to think about. Most of us don't want to deal with it. So anything that makes it easier is a huge win. That's why I like Policy Genius. They're not an insurance company. They're a marketplace that gives you options. You can compare quotes from top insurers side by side for free, and their licensed team actually helps you figure out what makes sense for your life. No guesswork, no pressure, just clarity. Policy Genius helps you find your most affordable policy that meets your needs. If this is something you've been putting off, now is the time to take action. Plan the year knowing you've protected what you've built. With Policy Genius, you can see if you can find 20-year life insurance policies starting at just $276 a year for $1 million in coverage. Head to policygenius.com to compare life insurance quotes from top companies and see how much you could save. That's policygenius.com. We're back, and we've been talking about how your underwear drawer is an easy way to see what kind of effort that you're making in your marriage, what kind of signal you've been sending. And I want to say, this is not about pressure. This is not about like, go out and buy a ton of underwear. This is not like, here are the stores you've got to buy from or the material, like none of that. It's about saying in a very small way, just kind of like that quote that we opened the episode with, in relationships, the little things are the big things. Your underwear drawer could be a little thing that becomes a big thing to your spouse. But you got to start with the drawer, right? Like some of you are envisioning it because you know exactly what it looks like. But for some of you, when you're home today, you're going to need to walk into your bedroom, to your dresser, to your closet, wherever that drawer is, and pull it open and go, what is in here? Why are you grinning like that?
Because if you were to open my underwear drawer, everything is nicely stacked, folded where it should be. And it's very easy to visualize what's there and see it. You open Elisa's, everything is just thrown in there. It's packed. And who knows what's underneath, behind. You just see that top little layer, and that's it. So first, all that is to say, is for some of you, it's going to be very easy to look and go, I know what I have here. For others of you, it may take a little more time because you're going to have to go through it. You're going to have to pick pieces out. You're going to have to see what's there. You're going to have to look at them. And it depends on the quantity, right? Some of us may have 5 or 10. Some may have 20 or 30 or more just in that drawer, depending on how often you buy, what you have, what you've kept. So like all of us could have different drawer experiences is all I am saying.
What I love is I just had the revelation that our desks and our underwear drawers mirror one another. We are clearly creatures of certain habits because Tony's desk, all the tabs are sequenced, like everything is, and mine, like literally there's a pile on my desk before Tony comes in and records a podcast on Thursday. There's my underwear drawer. I like being able to see all of the different colors and just pull something out. It's like, what is my feeling for the day? And this is true story. You should actually post pictures of our underwear drawer.
Nope. Not doing it.
Little comparison there.
Nope.
But look in your underwear drawer and think, is this all about comfort and just like going with the flow? Is there any intention in your underwear drawer to use your underwear as a means of connection? Right? Am I wearing this because I feel confident and sexy in it? Am I wearing it because you like to see me in it? Like, why am I doing this? And is there something in there that I would want to put on, right, to encourage or change our sexual intimacy, right? Are there colors that you like to see me in or things like that? Like, you can't make any decisions on what you're going to do with your underwear drawer if you don't actually look at your underwear drawer. And you just like, well, that's a great episode.
And there could be compartments of, I think, all of those, right? There could be those comfy ones, right?
You should have comfy underwear.
Absolutely. Like, but there also can be a compartment, and it maybe have fewer pairs of those ones that are flirty and sexy for different times. Same thing for you guys. And again, when I used to work outside, do my service job, and had my service business, I just put on whatever. It had to fit well because I was working all day.
Yeah.
And
lot of
yet,
movement.
right. And yet, I remember having at that point in time in our marriage, there were a few pairs of underwear that were sort of my sexy, looking good, like I'm initiating sexual intimacy underwear that I would put on after showering or getting ready for bed. And so I think sometimes we have to think like that as well. It's, hey, normal day to day, like I'm just running, doing my thing. But if I know we're going to go have some fun, then let me throw on something else.
Yeah.
And that's okay to do. And so I think we need to also look at that drawer in that way where it's sort of like, all right, cool. I still have my few over here that says, hey, something's maybe happening.
Absolutely. And so it's a combination. It's not all or,
It's not all or nothing. Right.
But a lot of people can fall into these routines where, it's just very routine. As you all said, very practical, boring, needs an upgrade. Those are your, selections, not mine. And so you start thinking through, like, what's the one thing that I could do that demonstrates a little effort, but it doesn't have to be like, oh my gosh, I've got to like toss the entire underwear drawer and, go to, Amazon or Victoria's Secret or wherever you might shop and do like a complete overhaul.
Although I will say, I'll put a link here for you guys on Amazon. We have sexy clothes for him and for her. There's some lingerie stuff. And yet we also have a couple of different choices for underwear. And I will say I have more there for the guys than for the wives. And I don't know why that happened while I was looking at it, but I think it's just a great way just to go check it out. There's some things just to look at. If something hits you, get it. If not, it's all right. Search somewhere else.
There's something about the actions that say, you know what, I still choose you. I care. I'm still showing up. Like I am doing things to demonstrate that this is important to me.
You know what? And sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you there.
Yeah.
But as I look at this from a six pillars of intimacy standpoint, right? Let's just go down this just real quick because we're talking about stuff, and I just feel like sometimes it's like, well, what does this matter, Tony and Elisa? Who cares? Like, let's move on. And I get it. But let's look at this. Emotional intimacy. A conversation with your spouse. It may even be a conversation with yourself that you need to have. Where you're just sort of like going, do I, don't I? That, physical intimacy, it feels good. Like let's just go for personal, like from a 6 pillars of intimacy.
Yeah.
Physical intimacy, it just feels good. It's that closeness, it's that touch, right? And maybe your spouse gets to touch it. Great. Financial intimacy. There's a cost. And I think some of us have to look at our budgets and go, do we have the cash flow? Do we have some money set aside for something like this right now? And if yes, great. If not, okay, can we save up? That's an important, like, can I put a little money away, even $50, just to go, I want to do a little upgrade, right? Spiritual intimacy. I don't know if there's really a spiritual intimacy component to it, to underwear. I mean, I don't see anything personally right now, just off the top of my head. If somebody has something, by all means, share. I'm all for it. Recreational intimacy, fun things we can do together. Comfy all day long. We're getting ready for an event, activity, something fun to do. Boom, we throw them on. Sexual intimacy, we've been talking about it.
Well, and even just to loop back to the recreational intimacy for a second, you guys might shop together. Like that could actually be something that the two of you do as a way to do a refresh. It could be a date. You could have an underwear date.
Yeah, and for some of you, that is way out of your comfort zone. And for others, it's like, oh, we do that all the time. So it just depends on who you are, how you've talked about it, what conversations you've had around these things. It's really interesting because when Elise and I get to meet you guys at live events, it's so amazing because we can talk about this stuff and literally one couple will come up to us like shy and like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you talked about underwear. Because sometimes we'll talk about underwear even from stage.
Sure.
And it's like, we've never talked about it. And then 3 couples later, there's somebody who's coming up is like, oh my gosh, I buy my wife underwear like once a month. Like she's on like the underwear club a month deal. And I just go out and we go buy them together. Mm-hmm. And it just reminds me how diverse we are here in the One Family.
Yeah.
Where there's so many different things we see and we all think we see them the same way, but we don't. And that's where the 6 pillars of intimacy comes in, is because you can look at your pillars and you can take something like this, as simple as underwear, and maybe as difficult as underwear, and go, okay, how does that fit in our 6 pillars of intimacy? Mm-hmm. And it doesn't have to fit in every single one. Like you guys heard me even say, like, I don't know, spiritual intimacy. I don't know. Maybe it does. Maybe for you guys, you find a place where it does fit in that area and rock and roll, but you can use the 6 pillars of intimacy framework and take anything that's going on in your life and go, okay, emotional, physical, financial, spiritual, recreational, sexual. How do they impact each of those pillars?
So good. So good. And, it's one of those episodes that, yes, you have to have the conversation. You have to look in your drawer. You have to talk about what matters to one another. And then it's all about taking action. Like, what are you going to do based on what you've seen, what you have, what you've discussed, and what does this mean in our marriage? And so I have never actually done this on an episode before. He has no idea. But I actually took this episode to heart, and I want to give you something right now.
What are you doing, girl?
Because I took this to heart. So I'm handing Tony a gift bag with tissue paper in it.
You can hear the tissue paper.
You can hear the tissue paper.
Oh boy. What are we doing here, girlie? Oh my goodness. Like, shh.
So you don't have to describe in detail, but just
nice.
So Tony just got a bag. I did an underwear refresh, and so Tony just got a bag of updates.
Yes.
But I've never done it, and I wanted to see like how he would respond.
And on some of them, they have fun little like sayings on it. Like that one just said, "Kiss me Monday."
Yes.
These are cute. Oh yeah. Now you're like, oh man, now I got to go do a little refresh for me. Oh, these are wonderful, baby doll. I love them. Wow. Like that's a lot.
Well, and just coming back to the financial intimacy, because you touched on this, but I looked for a sale and then was able to do that and bring that into like obviously staying within a budgetary number, but doing that because it was something that we've talked about and I want to do. And so that's how you pull these pieces together.
Yep.
Right. You hear what your spouse is saying, you look and you bring it all together, because at the end of the day, I will tell you that your underwear drawer does matter. And it is a signal. It's not about a performance, but it is a signal to yourself that this part of your life matters, and it's a signal to your spouse in a way that, talk about it. How does it matter to them? And what does it look like when you are in something that you feel confident in, that you are, bringing that together for the two of you, and then the two of you are acting on it.
Yep. Well, we hope you enjoyed this. Like every week, we want you to be intentional. We want you to take action around this topic. And so for some of you, it may just be like, I got to go look at my underwear drawer. Mm-hmm. For other of you, you already know. Like, it's like, I just need to pull out those sexy, fun, attractive, handsome, whatever word, adjective you want to use, and you just need to put them on. Mm-hmm. And for others of you, you may just need to talk to your spouse because it has become boring and complacent. And it's an area where maybe you can just have some fun together and just get some conversation started. Whatever that is for you, know that we're cheering you on. Know that sometimes the little things can be the big things in your marriage. And it's something as simple as underwear can make a big impact on another area in your marriage. And so with that, you guys have yourselves a fantastic week, and we'll catch you next week for our 900th episode. Love you guys.